Hello everyone, this is Mary from MySourcify. In today's video we are going to talk about pre-production sample development. After selecting your supplier, the next step is to ask them to send you some samples. More often than not, foreign buyers just ask their supplier to produce their product referring to the prepared sample. But if you want to customize a product, this involves a higher and more specific requirements. First of all, a critical analysis of your product is required. For this, you need to make a review with the design, packaging, and all the details of your product. Usually, a skilled manufacturer is able to handle all of this with a set of professional strategies. But we still need to list some tips for your reference. After all, the pre-production sample will be the quality standard of your mass production. So now let's have a look at this step-by-step guide. The first step is supplier sample assessment. When we receive samples from suppliers, we should make a comparison evaluation report first. That can help you decide whether or not you need to change the pre-production sample. Sample order specification sheet. Pay attention to the specification sheet when drafting a sample contract. Sample approval checklist. What should we notice when we receive our customized PP sample? Now let's get into the first step, which is supplier sample assessment. Ideally, we could receive no less than 3 samples from our suppliers. Here is a case analysis of some samples. Let's take this example to know how and from which angles we need to analyze a product. Let's have a look at these LED tube samples. As you can see, we have 3 samples of different suppliers. First, we analyze the main parts of this product and carefully pointing out the most important features. First is the end plug component. We rate this giving stars to the product, giving high score to the ones that mostly meet our requirements. Usually speaking, one end power supply is considered to be much safer than the 2-end power supply. And what's more, for 2-end power supply, it's impossible to get the UL certificate approved. Now let's have a look at the LEDs. In this case, the second and third sample are better than the first one. But be aware that we are rating specific components. We now do the same with the power supply chip and make a quick review of each sample. Finally, we have LED base and now analyze the pros and cons of the materials. Until now, you may have a basic understanding of made in China products through the above case. Samples from 3 factories were different, though they were based on the same parameters. Just think about it. You get what you paid for. In this case, sample B and C were much better. Just choose the one that is compliant with your country's quality standard. Now let's talk about sample order specification sheet. Usually many steps are required beforehand in order to secure the production process is in progress as expected. We think that the most important step is to make a pre-production sample. This estimates the overall quality standard of your product, so you better spend enough time coping with the pre-production sample. Nevertheless, this is just for your reference. You need to take different actions depending on your situation, and also different products have different production procedures. A professional factory would send you a product specification sheet upon your request, and that's very good for you. But in that case, you need to pay careful attention to those specified checklists under that sheet, because that includes the contract terms. Now let's have a look at the following points. Set target. It's party A's duty to make the required sample for party B, as per the contract, and the sample shall be strictly binding to all specified requirements. Party A shall not charge Party B any more than the agreed price unless Party B notices its amendment to the sample price. Mold ownership. Party B owes the valid mold utilization and property rights. Whether Party A agree or not, Party B possesses the right to retrieve the mold. Protect your design. Party A shall not sell or provide the sample package and design information to any third party. Intellectual property and confidentiality clause. Party A shall not use confidential information for any purpose or disclose any intellectual property involved information to any third party. Payment. Normally they require 100% in advance, but we recommend 50% deposit paid in advance. 50% balance shall be paid off on Party B's approval of the sample. Termination. Party B may terminate the contract if Party A becomes unable to produce the sample or doesn't finish the production upon the expiration of time. Now let's talk about sample approval checklist. You need to ensure that your sample is compliant with your standard and that is functioning well, so that you can place it on the market later. And here we will give you some tips and some points that you can follow in order to do this. And the first one is you need to check the functional requirements meet your product specification. Number two, you need to check the label, the technical dates, and all specifications of your product sample. Number three, you need to check the test certifications, the reports before approving your product sample. Number four, check whether the product sample meets your requirements and your environmental and sustainability policies in the place that you live. Number five, check if your product also fulfills your best value criteria. So this is the end of our video today, and I hope you found this information very useful. If you have any doubt or any comment or question, just leave it on the box below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.